Hello everyone, it's Medic here, back with another episode of Newsflash. We kicked off the second half of the split with a little something for everyone, so let's jump on straight into it. Starting off with the playoffs race, the battle for 6th place took an interesting turn with Mad Lions versus XL. Humanoid went off script as he didn't randomly die all the time, but XL still stuck to what they know, going 1-1 every single week. Perhaps Expect will be on our D2 the next time we have an LEC D&D campaign, as we saw two very different sides of the player. On day 1, Expect learnt the way of the tactical int, going 0-8 versus Rogue on Aatrox. But on the second day, all of the Mad Lions struggled to catch him, as he had better dance moves than Yamato Cannon.
Special. He's going back in! Goes back in! This is it. And he's out! Absolutely outplayed.
Moving on to the top of the table, Fnatic and G2 were both in fine form. G2 went back to winning ways with a 2-0 week after they spanked SK and Vitality in games that looked more like solo queue than pro play. And despite all their rage, Misfits were just rabbits in a cage as they couldn't escape Nemesis's event horizon. Fnatic managed to knock Misfits off the top spot despite Bwipo seeming to forget that turrets can do damage too. It seems like he really does think 3v1 is a fair fight.
Like when you see 3 champions and you're on your own, that's a fair fight.
Now it's time for the longest segment of the show. Cancel all your plans for the next 30 minutes. We're going to wait for Origin to do something. Wait, what do you mean we don't have that long? Alright, well, to sum it up, not really much happened for 40 minutes against Schalke, so the spirit of Expeke subbed in to get it over with and backdoor for the win. Expeke has now played mid, AD carry, support, and spiritual guide on the LEC stage. But we saw a different side of Origin against Rogue. They actually were active in the early game and snowballed their lead into an Infernal Soul and a win in under 35 minutes. Perhaps all that motivation, work improvement, and team is finally paying off. And it's the moment you've all been waiting for, the matchup of the millennia, the greatest battle in League of Legends history. Yamato Cannon versus an interactive screen. I'll say no more and let this mechanical outplay speak for itself.
I want to highlight, of course, Nemesis. All right. Technology. Okay, I didn't point there. There we go. I'm gonna try this again. Okay, it's working. Honestly, screw technology.
Looking at the LEC standings, first place has been whittled down to just 3, as Fnatic, G2 and Origin all have their eyes on the crown. However, you can't rule out anyone from the top 7, as there are still plenty of games left to go. Week 7 is all about the LEC title race as G2 take on Origin as our final game on Friday before fighting the might of Fnatic as our last game on Saturday. You won't want to miss it.